Open Your Eyes is brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, and the Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And good morning, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I can't believe that it's Thursday already.
It kind of flew by quickly, right?
No, 100%. This week went by without warning, without a care in the world. I could remember clearly waking up on Monday morning and hosting morning show, and I said, all right, the next time I'm scheduled to be on set is Thursday. I have a few days to relax.
Yeah.
And then here I am, it's Thursday.
Yes.
But a good thing is...
Just a blink.
Just a blink. The good thing is it's the end of the month as well. The long month of September. Today is the 26th.
It is,
correct.
all day.
And so we have 4 more days to go in September. And then it ends on Monday. I think a lot of people look forward to the end of September.
They look forward to the end of the month too,
right?
for the Eagle landing.
Yeah, but forward to the end of September because it's the time when you get to just breathe that sigh of, all right, the month is over. So if I had a lot of work to do, I could rest, celebrations related work that is, or if I've celebrated my rear end off, I could take some break I could take a break as well. And for Belizeans, this is a transition period to the 19th. Even though it's a month and a half away, this is that transition period. And then, so we have 2 transition periods in the next 3 months. We have the 19th transition, and then we have Christmas transition.
You raise a good point, Paul, because I know for us here in Belize, we take our September celebration seriously, and I know for our neighbors, our friends and family members who live in the diaspora in the United States in particular, around this time they are kind of hearing Mariah Carey melt from the ice and then welcoming Christmas,
well,
right?
I don't know if you got a particular store that Belize City. I know I mentioned no name.
It ends with ab?
It might begins with mr.
Okay.
But then people don't got the Christmas thing, You walk in there and it's a holly, jolly
Christmas.
September going into October. So then you feel the spirit, and I think a lot of Belizeans feel the spirit as well.
But I know that for a lot of Belizeans, even folks who don't necessarily have that immediate tie to the Garifuna culture, they also take the 19th celebrations very seriously. And for those folks in Belize, they will tell you, do not skip 19th, because that's just a relevant celebration and festive time for us here in Belize, as of course September is and Christmas. So you mentioned it correctly, Paul. We do have 2 more bumps until we conclude the year. We know we are just off the heels of September and our national celebrations. Up next, it's the 19th, and all roads are leading down south. We are going to be celebrating the 19th of November, and then after that, then you can on 12 o'clock, the 20th of November, then you can put up your Christmas trees.
Yeah, I'm more looking forward to the end of the year.
Yeah.
In fact, more looking forward to 2025 because we have a general elections next year, and for me, that's when it gets really exciting. I could see my face. I'm drooling even over the thought that we have a general election next year.
It's going to be a really interesting year, not only for Belize, in other parts of the world as well. I know the United States, they're also looking forward to an election in just November. A couple months as well. So it's going to be an all-around interesting end of year and 2025. But that's enough for our chit-chat. We do have our topics to jump into for What's Buzzing. All right, so we have 4 topics that we want to dive into this morning, and we're going to go into them as quickly as possible to ensure that we get every one of them. Starting off, Paul, there is a recall for certain taxi license plates in Belmopan. Now, there was a press release that was issued by the Belmopan City Council, and it notes, I believe we will be putting that on screen. It says, the Belmopan City Council informs the general public that all taxi license plates issued in January 2024 with the series number BMPD 01061 to 0310, that's it there on screen, 01061 to 01110 are being recalled due to their invalidity. The public is notified that these plates were issued without due process, and we kindly request all holders of plates in these series to visit the Belmopan City Council with the plates for further instructions. This is interesting, Paul, because if they're saying that it's recalled due to their invalidity, what does that mean in this instance? Were there fake plates?
Well, it means, more than what it means, it begs the question for me. I think the meaning is clear there, that it was issued without due process, and as a result is invalid. But the question for me is, what in the heavens was taking place at the Belize Belmopan City Council under former Mayor Sharon Palacio? Because if you look at the timeline, you're talking January 2024. That's a few months, a couple months actually, before the March 6th municipal elections. And so here, this comes on the heels of a land situation, a land issue, the land issue in Belmopan, where persons were given titles to lands for grossly discounted prices. We're talking $2,000 reportedly for lands that's worth $20,000. You're talking $100 in some cases for lands that's worth $20,000.
And persons, as a result, being relinquished of their roles as well?
Well, yeah, persons getting fired, but that's under this current administration. You're talking individuals getting 8 parcels of lands for that bottom dollar price, if you would. And that happened under the former mayor, Sharon Palacio. This is all facts.
Yeah.
And then here you come with some more information which suggests that the current city council is doing some digging at the in City Hall to really see what all they can uncover about the type of operation that the former mayor Sharon Palacio was running. And then here they find that at least, I did the math, but I'll have to do it again, 51.
Yes.
So 51, yeah. So 51 license plate were issued to taxi drivers in Belize City, and according to the current city council, these were issued without due process. Now, if you know anything about license plate, I have a friend, passed away, and he was a taxi driver. He had the taxi license plate on his vehicle, and the license plate could have been sold separately from the vehicle.
Really?
Because it's such a hot commodity. Listen,
license plates or
taxi license plate? The taxi license plate. Because I think that, if I'm not mistaken, at that time, these license plates weren't being issued just right so. Because, and I think that's still the case.
Yeah.
You really have to go through a process to be verified or authorized to receive a taxi license plate. So the family of this guy,
that's an interesting point. I'd love to know what that process is like.
Right. Saw that, you know what? This is such a hot commodity that I could sell this vehicle on one end and sell the license plate separately.
License plate sold
separately, and that somebody would actually buy it because it's a hot commodity.
Wow.
It's an income earner. You have that plate on your vehicle, and you're saying that I could drive taxi legally, and you could pay me to transport you from point A to point B. And without proper regulations in place for these taxi prices, really, you could charge anything these days to give somebody a lift from one location to the next. And so 51 taxis, and then I mean, let me not go there. I had a thought that I'll just reserve for now in terms of we have to see who got these license plates as well, to kind of get an understanding of perhaps their connections within the council at that time, why due process was not followed. These individuals perhaps had some influence in the council. All of this has to be considered.
Well, this one will definitely be following, as you mentioned. This really comes on the heels of other investigations that revealed some scandals at the Belmopan City Council as it relates to land documents and land titles being issued for as little as $100. There are certainly woes under the former Mayor Sharon Palacio. Of course, we haven't heard from her in either of these cases.
I tried to reach out to her. I've been trying to get her. I tried last week. She told me that she was under the weather and that her team would host a press conference. I've been trying to reach her this week and nada. So I will have to wait and see if she even cares to respond to these accusations.
All right. Well, as we get those updates, we will be providing them to you in a timely manner. Now, in our second topic, Paul, this one is as of equal interest to our viewers. The police department is investigating fake birth certificates. Now, there was a press release that was issued by the government of Belize as well announcing this. What do you have for us?
Yeah, so what we're learning at this time is that, as you rightly said, the police department is investigating the issuance of birth certificates. And what they found so far is that there are a number of birth certificates out there that are fraudulent. You know, when you usually go to a government office and you try to get documents or procure certain valuable documents like travel documents, your passport, your social security card, one of the things they ask you is for your birth certificate. We want to see that you're a Belizean. We want to know who your mom, who your pa, and usually birth certificates are the way to go to give you that information. And what they found is that individuals went to Social Security to seek their Social Security cards, and at least 3 persons, 2 persons with these invalid certificates. And they're invalid because they did their digging. The investigation found that they weren't printed by the Vital Statistics unit. And 2 persons got through with their Social Security card, but the 3rd person was flagged, and police was called in, and they determined that, hey, this individual has an invalid birth certificate. And I believe that's how, based on this press release, how they were able to track down these other 2 persons as well.
You'd be surprised the amount of individuals who do not have their proper documents, like their birth certificates, their social security cards on hand. I know when it comes to the vital statistics, this has been one of those departments that persons have constantly complained about getting their documents to time. There's a lot of push around when it comes to that. Nonetheless, that is not an excuse to falsify your birth certificates or any legal documents at that.
You bring up a valid point there, Sabrina, because we are not condoning anybody going to get their birth certificate or any official document from a source that is not the authorized source, but people are frustrated. A lot of times people are frustrated with the process, how long it takes to
imagine that person is like, you know what, Paul, I know when I born, I know who da my ma, who da my pa. I could just go put something together myself.
Oh, well,
I don't know what would have gone through the mind.
Not even them, but you have individuals that are smart enough to plagiarize, if you would, or make dupes of these genuine documents that looks genuine with their designs and everything, and they capitalize on the fact that the process sucks.
Yeah.
They capitalize on the frustration of a lot of people seeking these documents, but then they also capitalize on the fact that you have individuals who do not qualify for these documents, wanting them. And so this could be the case here, that individuals who may not have qualified for these documents sought it out. But either way, you have individuals out there. And so they say that they're questioning, they're doing their questioning, they're doing their investigation to try to get to the bottom of this. But this is big, this is huge, and this is something they would definitely have to put a stop to, because you can imagine how much people out there could have invalid birth certificates, and as a result could get social security and passport even.
Absolutely. There are so many things happening under the table. There are so many illegal side businesses that are yet to be uncovered. And this is just one of those instances where we want to remind persons who may be considering doing something like this, perhaps because of the frustration that is taking place at the department in acquiring your documents. Don't go that route. There are measures in place to detect these false documents, and you don't want to be one of those individuals that are caught.
Yeah.
All right. In our third topic, now this one's for you drivers who may have been using your earphones, your earbuds, your AirPods. Someone posted on social media yesterday that they received a $500 fine from the traffic department for using these earbuds in their ears while driving. Now, this is an interesting conversation because, of course, Paul, it has been causing quite a conversation online. I remember about a month ago or a couple months ago, we had a segment where folks from the traffic department came on set and spoke to us about some of these added regulations that would be in place, and headphones was one of them. Of course, you would know that the regulars are driving with your seatbelts. They would be cracking down on persons who would be partaking in risky driving, so to speak. In the case of earphones, that was one of the topics that came up. And if I'm not mistaken, it was said that for persons who say would not be able to have their phones placed on one of those holders, those little tripod holders on your car, you are allowed to use one earbud. But they never said anything about two. So in this instance, this person seems to have been caught driving with two earbuds in, and as such has been charged $500.
So what I understand from the Facebook post that a person made, and I'll correct you a bit, is that they were not charged. They were warned. They were warned that this comes with a $500 fine. So it's in the comments. So it's in the post. The publisher didn't make it clear, right? He just said it, and then in the comments, this person clarified and said, "Hey, I was warned this time, thankfully." But you know, maybe I forgot that portion of the conversation that you were talking about there, about the having
AirPods.
in earbuds, as they're generally known, because it was only a few weeks back that I pulled up to checkpoint with both of my earbuds in, right, and the officer looked at me with this strange look, and I was like, all right.
Not Paul Lopez driving up with two headphones in.
What did I do wrong? And he said, you can't have both earpieces in. And I told him, I said, but I can't use my phone while I'm driving. This feels hands-free to me. To me, I'm thinking this is hands-free since you can't use your phone or electronic device. And he said, if you want to do that, you can only use one. And he also let me off with a warning and said, this is a warning. Basically, this comes with a huge fine, and so you don't want to be caught doing this. And so I said, all right, and I learned my lesson. And ever since then, you would only use one if necessary. I just connect my phone to my Bluetooth in my vehicle.
Well, I can tell you because I also have the very same headphone that that person was showing in their hand. Excuse me. And I can tell you that Perhaps one of the reasons why the caution is there to not use both of them is because there's a setting on some of these very same headphones that we use that's called noise canceling, and they really cancel the noise, Paul. And of course, when you're driving, you want to ensure that you hear certain things. You need to hear the horns. You need to hear people maybe saying something on the other side to get your attention. You need to be attentive on the road. And because of that, I think that that's one of the reasons why they are prohibiting drivers to be using both headphones. There's also other instances where, you know, persons might not be on a call. They might be listening to music very loudly. And because of that, you have to ensure that you take extra caution.
There's a fine line, because I also explained to the police officer that there's a setting that allows you to hear your surroundings as well. Yes,
there is.
And I was letting him know that even though I have it in my ears, I could hear my surroundings loud and clear. And he said that, yes, he knows of the setting, but he also knows of the law and what the regulations did. So I didn't want to argue over something like that.
Well, then this might be a caution to you guys. Of course, Paul and this individual, as we mentioned, they got off with a warning, but you might not be the one that gets off with a warning. So now that we are mentioning to you, definitely be mindful that if you use both earbuds in your ears while driving, you can be driving away with a $500 fine as well.
Yeah, indeed.
And our final topic, Paul, and we're going to be running through this very quickly. It is the challenge of encouraging kids or getting kids to eat healthier within schools. This was a 5-point breakdown that was done by our colleague Brittany Gordon, and I have to say kudos to her because she did an extensive deep dive into what is currently taking place within learning institutions as it relates to getting these kids to eat more nutritious meals. You would know, Paul, that this is all under an effort to reduce non-communicable diseases. Things like diabetes, things like hypertension, even obesity can be reduced by simply having a better diet. So we had our colleague Brittany Gordon speak to a representative, a nutritionist from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Robin Daly-Faber, and she was speaking about some of the policies that are in place, some of the ways that the government has been trying to ensure that these kids eat healthier within schools. She even spoke to some kids who spoke about the challenge they face with making that decision. You know, Miss, if I had my choice, I'd eat more mangoes, but it's hard when you have a nicely chips there, right?
And ultimately, it's the children's decision. It is as hard to get children to eat healthy as hard as it is to have the UDP put forward a united front. Let's put it like that. That it's not it's not the first thing that kids are attracted to. Healthy veggies, apple, fruits. If you see a chips, if you see a bottle of soda or a bottle of juice, they might be attracted to it. And so it's about, based on the story, it's about creating environments and safeguards that allows these children to have better access. And in fact, in some cases, strict access to only healthy options. And one of the things the kid said, and I have to agree with the kid, even as an adult, that you have to make vegetables and fruits appealing. I don't just want to eat vegetables without it. It's boring. Right? It's boring food. And a lot of time, kids' minds don't operate like that. Oh, I just want to eat this boring food. They want something exciting, and also you have to create it in such a way that it becomes a culture among friends that, hey, okay, they're eating it, I'll eat it too. It becomes a norm, and so you have to find a way to make healthy appealing.
You mentioned something really interesting there, Paul, and I think this is an opportunity that I can not only challenge yourself, but challenge other persons who feel similarly. Because when we say that vegetables and certain healthy foods are boring, I think it's because we are taught to believe that it's boring.
But it is.
It's
Nobody
not.
have to teach me that lettuce look green.
Maybe it's because I've come a long way that I actually enjoy these types of foods now. But I know that for a lot of these kids, it's the first thing that they get introduced to, you know. When you even see how it's advertised on TV, unhealthy foods is made to look more appealing than healthier foods. I know. You know what? Cake does sound good. No, I'm kidding. But But what I really want to say is that there are ways that the government has been making steps to try to fit healthier options for these schools. I can tell you, it was just earlier this year, I did a feature for my weekly Bright Side where I traveled out west, and I visited a school who had it as the only option, and this is by way of support from the government, where they provide funding to the school cafeterias, and because of that they're given a menu of sort where it's obviously only healthy options, but they get to rotate different meals of choice for these kids. And at this school in particular, these kids were eating only vegetarian food, Paul. Wow. We're talking primary school kids yumming up on a veggie burrito, you know, eating only veggie food, eating I think in this case it was tofu or something like that. But they honestly couldn't tell the difference. So I think we just need to find more fun ways, or ways to make veggies fun, because you'd be surprised, the kids are struggling, but the adults are struggling too to eat veggies, and that's why we have Paul here saying that.
But just to wrap this conversation up, kudos to the schools that have implemented programs and are trying to change the narrative for our kids, and the adults can do their part by beginning to live healthier and eat healthier. So kudos to you for trying to convince me.
I just close my eyes and imagine it's a slice of cake while I'm eating that broccoli.
Exactly. That's one way.
Yes, so that does it for our What's Buzzing this morning. If you have any comments or thoughts on either of the topics that were mentioned, let us know in the comments section. Give us some suggestions on certain things that we can discuss and what as well, and we may just bring it up. And moving now into our weather update, we want to find out certainly what's taking place out there. I know that there was a weather system we were observing in the Yucatan Peninsula. I know there's also a hurricane that is affecting Florida. So we're going to be getting that official update from the folks at the Met Service.
Good morning, Belize. A light to moderate airflow continues to support generally fair conditions. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for sunny skies with a few cloudy spells, and shower activity today will be isolated, and high temperatures are expected to reach 91 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, to 95 inland, and 81 over the mountains. Tonight, the skies will be partly cloudy to cloudy, with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms to develop over the south and along some coastal areas. Low temperatures for tonight will be 83 along the coast, to 74 inland, and 68 in the higher elevations. The winds will blow from the west to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, and the sea state will be light chop to choppy. A low tide will occur at 12:38 this afternoon, followed by a high at 7:01 p.m. Another low will occur at 11:13 tonight, and a high at 5:55 a.m. The sun rose at 5:42 this morning and will set at 5:44 this evening. The moon will set at 9 minutes past 2 this afternoon and comes up at 1:27 a.m. The outlook for Friday and Friday night is for cloudy spells, along with a few showers or isolated thunderstorms, increasing at night. In the sargassum forecast, no significant increase in sargassum is expected over the area during the next few days. In the tropical weather outlook at 6 a.m., Hurricane Helen was located about 320 miles southwest of Tampa, Florida. Helen was moving to the north-northeast at 12 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 100 miles per hour. Also, showers and thunderstorms that are associated with a broad area of low pressure, which is located several hundred miles west of the Cabo Verde Islands, has a high chance of becoming a tropical depression during the next 48 hours as it moves westward to west-northwestward. At 3 a.m., Tropical Storm Isaac was about 1,410 miles north-northeast of Bermuda. Isaac was moving to the east at 12 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour. And that's your morning forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
All right, there you have it, your update from the folks at the Met Service. Moving now into our show lineup, we have a jam-packed show this Thursday morning. And starting things off in our first segment, we'll be discussing World Maritime Day with the theme Navigating the Future, Safety First.
And in our second segment, we will be talking to the Belize Bureau of Standards about the benefits of transforming schools and businesses with energy efficient replacements.
And in our third conversation, it's all about small business. We'll be joined by two entrepreneurs who will be talking about their small businesses. And
in my final segment, we'll be talking about what these up and coming comedians have in store for us.
All right. Well, we got to take our first break, and when we come back, it's all about World Maritime Day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Elmer Shua, ay join jik ahelak sa Kopal Tree Lodge. Keronik ahelan ay lain sa Kopal, kakui bartending kakui an keronik mana lain. Lain ni usara Belize Bank mobile app. Hanak na usara uta ana ATM, utin card. Araw kay balbas changkiron sa usara ut kolore na notification chura phone na mensah pas. Araw uta ki na kolore, tak chala harup chitumin sa usara. Ut araw uta naw nak sa chabilo wang gatumin.
Gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connections. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price but stay for the service.
Good morning and welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We are having our first conversation this morning, And as we mentioned, it's all about World Maritime Day. They're celebrating their day under the theme, Navigating the Future, Safety First. We have here with us two representatives in this field of work who will be talking to us about the importance of this day and the work that they do. Joining us this morning is Felicia Vargas, and she is the Deputy Registrar for the Registration Manager for Imarbe. And with her is Ivana Slusher, and she is a Research Officer with the Belize Port Authority. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
Thank you.
I always enjoy when we have this particular segment, an opportunity to talk about the work that is done in the maritime industry, because I think it's one of those fields where a lot of people still kind of don't appreciate or don't recognize the opportunities that exist and the importance of what you guys do.
Yes.
Let's start there. Let's start with an overview of what the maritime industry involves.
Okay, in the aspect of the flag state, we are Imarbe, we're the international flag state of Belize. We deal with vessel registrations, we deal to ensuring the safety of these vessels, and of course the transporting of these goods from point A to point B, and ensuring it's all about safety and ensuring safety of life at sea in a nutshell, what more or less we do. In her concept, it's here locally, so she can touch on that one.
Yes, so we also ensure our vessel registration. Actually, the Belize Port Authority, of which a lot of people aren't too familiar with, we oftentimes get confused with the Port of Belize.
Very true.
Yes, that's quite a confusion there. But we're a statutory body, which was established in 1980, and we currently fall under the portfolio of the Ministry of Public Utilities, Energy and Logistics with Minister Shapat.
Yes.
So when I say statutory body, meaning that we're able to create legislations, we're able to create these laws. Of course, we go ahead and we propose this to our government, and oftentimes we create these when necessary. If we see there is a convention, which is these international rules and laws, we propose legislation so that we can accommodate these conventions. So we were able to do that, and of course, like I mentioned, the whole vessel registration and
So
similar to what.
So you basically
In the
regulates the industry.
Yes.
So in what are there instances where both these entities would collaborate in anything, or?
Yes, we do. There's a lot of instances. I mean, like she explained, for example, there's times where vessels need to operate locally, and this is where they're, and then internationally, at international, I mean, there is lines, of course, in the seas where you could say that's high
Maritime
seas. Yes.
Yes.
So in that case, for example, then we would come in together. But yes, we do work, we do collaborate for events like this as well, for the World Maritime Day. That she touched, of course, we have our regulatory body, which is the International Maritime Organization, or also known as IMO. They're the ones that would pass down these conventions, and we, of course, have to domesticate it locally and ensure that both for us and internationally and locally that these vessels are complying for the safety. It's all about safety at international sea, safety of life, safety of the vessels, and like I said, transporting the goods from point A to point B. So it's important, for example, today for the World Maritime Day, and under the theme saying navigation,
Navigating the
future, safety first.
Yeah.
It's all about that, exactly in line. We ensure. I mean, and today it's very important because it shows how the maritime connects the worlds, and of course it fosters global trade. So we might not, the things like you say we take for granted, for example, a pencil, you have no idea that it came all the way from the other side of the world. Our cell phones, so
sometimes even the clothing, not sometimes, a lot of times the clothing, because we're not necessarily manufacturing clothing.
Exactly. So these things are goods that come from, and 90% of the world is with the maritime trade. So like you said, these are the things people don't realize, how they come across, how they come to the, and of course we being the body that we regulate and ensure the safety and seaworthiness of these vessels is where we come into place in that aspect.
Yes, and I definitely wanted to start off by saying Happy World Maritime Day, because today is actually the actual day, yes, which is the last Thursday of September. So today it falls on the 26th of September, so I definitely want to say a Happy World Maritime Day to not only our seafarers and those that are involved on the vessels, but those that have a love for maritime as much as I do and handle the statistics and projects that happen quite a lot.
Now, is it fair to describe the maritime space as a highway where you have traffic? Because I know land transportation and land movement is way more populated, one would imagine, than maritime movement and maritime transportation. But it is fair to describe it like that to get an idea.
Yes, indeed. And yes, they do have a convention as well, they call REG, or the collision regulation, that has different policies how these vessels go about moving from ports, from if one is coming on one side and the other is coming. So yes, it is pretty much like a maritime traffic on how to transport.
Now, is it only ships we're talking about in the maritime space? What else are we regulating or are we looking over?
So cruise ships, cargo ships, it ranges, whatever, all our vessels that's on water, we make sure that whatever comes in meets the standard, the rules are regulated. So anything that touches our Belizean waters, we're there to.
I want to take a look at the safety aspect, which we know is of utmost importance even before this team came into effect, and is one that we are recognizing. What does safety look like in your individual roles and fields of work or organizations that you represent when it comes to ensuring safety on our Belizean waters?
Well, this year's team, Navigating the Future Safety First, actually derives from one of our conventions, the SOLAS convention, which is Safety of Lives at Sea. So at the Belize Port Authority, safety means having these vessels, before they are registered, coming to us and make sure that they meet the requirements needed when it comes to the equipment that they have, the type of motors or whatever they use to go ahead and navigate the sea, making sure that it meets not only local standards, but international standards as well. So definitely making sure that once this standard is met, you get your license and you're able to operate fully without any casualties at sea.
Within Belizean waters?
Within Belizean waters, yes, for the Belize port.
For the international is the same. If a vessel, a Belize flag registered vessel reaches at a port internationally, that it meets also the same international conventions that she mentioned, the SOLAS, or Safety of Life at Sea. It's similar that these vessels are following, and she touched, for example, that the vessel is seaworthy, and in addition for us, the crew member are also properly certified, that they can, well, we don't say drive, we say man the ship. So that they're also properly qualified in our aspect, that I said the seaworthiness, and also that, like she said, the registration, that documentation-wise the vessel is in compliance, that is cargo that it's taking is insured. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes for a vessel to dock up at, for example, like our waters or at another port internationally, that they're fully compliant.
What attracted both of you all to this industry? I guess apart from needing employment.
Well, me personally, I'd have to admit that I had no idea that this industry actually existed. I had no idea that the Belize Port Authority actually existed. But being there for the time that I've been, I have to say that it's quite an amazing experience. It's so, it leaves you in awe. I've done boarding on these cruise ships. I've never been on a cruise ship, but being on there, I'm like, this is the life. So it's something that there's not just one specific post or area that you could specialize in. There's so much options, and I think it's just getting in there and doing a lot of research. I'm the research officer, so I'm quite responsible for the statistics and whatever, how long these vessels dock in our waters and how many comes in, and stuff like that. But it's quite amazing and quite informative.
And how long have you been working in this industry now?
For 6 months.
Okay.
We sense that energetic
youthfulness.
Yes.
Well, for me, it's 20 years in the field.
There you go.
I mean, I'm pretty much seasoned, but similar to what she said, I think I walked into an industry. I mean, it was all Greek to me, if I have to be honest. But it's a very intriguing industry. It keeps you wanting to learn more, and there's always something else. I mean, and the maritime sector, like she said, isn't. I mean, you think about the seafarers, you think about the vessels, but there's maritime professionals like her, myself, and a few women in Maritime. We can also touch it. We're part of the Women in Maritime Association as well. So the industry has always been mostly dominated by men. So now we have women, for example, and for me, and even my current senior deputy registrar, she's a female as well. So we're having more female in the maritime sector, but it's been one of the most fulfilling career I've had. It's always something new that I learn, and I always want to impart my knowledge to the newer persons that are coming into the industry, and that they build a career. And there is so many possibility. You can be a maritime lawyer, you could be an engineer, you could be like, for example, us in our case, like she said, we do more of the researching, but there is so much more, and there's a lot of scholarships out there. So we, for this past month, we've been campaigning to different schools so that they're aware that there is a career in the maritime sector. Similarly, we'll be doing the expo, which you can touch a little bit more into it.
Yes, sure. So to honor our Maritime Day, we have partnered with different organizations to go ahead and conduct an expo that's happening tomorrow at the Belize Port Authority headquarters. This starts at 10 a.m. We've invited students from across the country. This is catered specifically to high school students. However, it is open to the public. So we encourage everyone to come out, bring your kids. I know it's a school day on a Friday, but you can still come out as a parent, take a couple pamphlets and read it over to your child. We mainly, and I applaud the Belize Port Authority for doing an initiative like this, because like myself, when I graduated Palote, I was not sure what exactly I wanted to do. I didn't want to be a teacher, I didn't want to be a doctor, not a lawyer. So I think if I was introduced to something like this quite early on, it would have definitely sparked my interest. So they're having the expo tomorrow. We have an opening ceremony, which should be maybe an hour and a half. We have different persons coming from different organizations. The Port of Big Creek, we have our customs participating as well, because we have over 20 booths. So we have different organizations, but we have Coast Guard coming in doing a little presentation as well. Ourselves, we also have our own booth there, so if you would like to stop by and you can get some information on what we do, different departments, our operation department, our technical department, our registration department where you register your vessels, you get your license. There is a lot of activities that's going to be happening tomorrow.
What is it that we're hoping those who attend the expo can leave with?
We're hoping that they can leave with a career or an insight into what they want to be in the future. That's our goal. We want to, because it's such a lost jewel, I would say, I definitely hope that the students are left intrigued and informed and say, okay, well, this is something that I definitely want to do. I never knew existed, but I want to be a part of the maritime industry.
Absolutely. And that's why I essentially opened by saying that this is an industry that is considered underrated, for the lack of a better word. There is a lot of opportunities that exist, but it begins with first being informed. Both of you ladies essentially said that you started green as ever. You mentioned that you didn't even know that this was an industry. And I know that there are a lot of other people who might share that same view as well.
I wanted to find out if there's anything else happening. I understand there may be an essay writing competition. Is that for this year as well?
Yes, so we had conducted an essay writing competition on the maritime industry. There were several questions. You had to go ahead and write your essay. The deadline for that has already passed.
Okay.
We have selected our winners. However, these winners will be announced at the expo, and the prizes will be issued there. We decided that the winners the first prize winner will go ahead and read their winning essay at the expo as well.
What are some of the things that they are writing about?
Well, the topic for this year's essay writing was basically just the maritime industry being a pillar of Belize and how it affects Belize and the opportunities there within the maritime industry. It requires a lot of research, and so upon reading these, there are so many amazing essays. I definitely must say our students are so great. I applaud it so much, because now it's for high school students. They are aware of this industry, and I'm hoping that a couple of them, we get a couple resumes and in the future for them to go ahead and become a part of our industry.
Absolutely.
In addition, we, for example, in Marba this week has what we call Trivia Week, a Maritime Trivia Week. So we have different questions we're asking on our social media platform. And again, similar like them, we're catering it to the public, but preferably the students so that they know. Ultimately, it's all about, like you said, having people the knowledge that there's a maritime sector there and there's another possibility as well that you could look into. Tonight, actually, both ourselves with the Coast Guard BPA, one of the things our IMO or regulator asks us to do is to light up our significant buildings, but this year we decided to go with the Barambles Lighthouse, so we'll be lighting it blue, so in case you see pictures, yes, the lighthouse will be on, right, correct, and then we will be lighting them with blue spotlights, because blue is with the maritime, that's the color of the maritime industry, so we get to post it on our social media in addition to our IMO regulator asks us to share these as well. So we should be out there for a short period, and it's all in the celebration of World Maritime Day.
It sounds like you all have a lot happening for the next few days as well. Now, you touched on something I just briefly want to get your thought on. Earlier you said that if this field has been mainly male dominated. Why has that been the case, and how are we seeing that change?
It's something from the past. We've always had captains, and it's male captains. I think even the vessels have names of female. But like she mentioned, it's something that is always, like I said, it's a male dominating, but now we find that women, and I'm glad that we're being given the equal opportunity to have women take the lead, be at the helm of a vessel. We have female captains. We have a local Belizean female captain, that the Belize Aggressor. Myself, Miss Valerie, we also had a former Ports Commissioner who was also a female. So yes, we're having more. Our president, Miss Jada, she is one of the champions that opened the women in maritime. So there's the change. You're finding that more female are in the maritime profession, and also on board vessels, being captains, being seafarers as well. So it's changing. I guess times are changing, and they're giving us the opportunity as well.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, this has been a wonderful conversation. As we wrap up this segment, I'll ask if you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share with our viewers.
Yes, I would definitely like to go ahead and thank our sponsors, because without them, our expo would not be possible for tomorrow. If I could just read them off here. We have our platinum sponsor, Caribbean Shipping Agencies, the Port of Belize, Belize Estate Company, and Caribbean Sprinter. We have our gold sponsor, Big Creek Group, and our silver sponsors, Atlantic Bank, Belize Tourism Board, Thunderbolt Water Taxi, and Captain Sharks.
All right.
Just happy World Maritime Day to the Marba team and all the Maritime BPA, Port of Belize, Big Creek, the Coast Guard, and all those in the maritime sector.
Excellent.
Alrighty.
Well, ladies, thank you all so much for joining us this morning, and
thank you too.
Happy World Maritime Day to both of you.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
All right, so with that, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's all about World Standards Day. So another day we're celebrating. I will be right back. You don't want to miss that one. Stay tuned.
So the doctor has given me 5 days off. How do I get paid from Social Security? This is how Social Security works for sickness benefits. First, you must check that you qualify. You must be employed when you got sick. Have made 50 paid contributions. Have made 5 paid contributions within 13 weeks immediately before getting sick. To ensure that your processing goes smoothly, be sure to complete and submit your claim form within 14 days of the first day of illness. Thanks, I get it now.
Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
This September, Smart is bringing you deals that are bigger and smarter than ever. When you sign up for broadband and add a postpaid plan, you get to enjoy 2 months of free add-ons. Customers that sign up for a select plan or above and get phones for as low as $80. It doesn't end there. Switch to Smart Prepaid and get more value for your money. Switch your chip and get your SIM for only $1. One large social media data bundle for 3 months and phones for as low as $60. Smart has bigger and smarter deals for you. Promo ends September 28th. Smart, bringing people together.
Evening, everybody. No one, not two, but 3 fan on, TV, and all the lights. Hey!
Small changes, like turning off lights and appliances when leaving the room, can make a big difference in your energy usage. Talk to your family about energy management today. Do a little, conserve a lot. Need help? The BEL 24/7 app has tools to get you on the right track. Download today and let's talk energy management.
I say to you that there is a dire global health challenge at our gates in the global south. We have experienced an exponential rise in cardiovascular disease, chronic respiratory and infectious diseases, cancer, diabetes, air pollution, mental health challenges, malnutrition. And all of this while the climate crisis has impacted us and our environment and will continue to do so. We, the citizens of the Caribbean, are faced with a simple choice. What will our future be?
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Welcome back. This is our second conversation for this morning, and it's all about World Standards Day.
From one world
to another World's Day celebration, right? And so we have joining us on set Mr. Lloyd Oriano, who is a standards officer over at the Belize Bureau of Standards, as well as Salim Hoy, who is also a standards officer over at the Belize Bureau of Standards. And last but certainly not least, Ms. Rhonda Tillett, who's a consumer protection and liaison officer over at the Belize Bureau of Standards. Good morning.
Good morning, guys, and welcome.
Welcome. All right, so let's, I think, start with the obvious question. What is World Standards Day?
So World Standards Day is one of those activities that is celebrated annually, and it is celebrated on the international arena.
Okay.
We participate internationally in the development of standards. So we do that internationally, regionally, and at a national level. And the observance of World Standards Day is usually on October 14th of every year. But this year, since October 14th is one of those holidays, we're going to celebrate it on the 15th of October. And the theme that we're celebrating World Standards Day under is a shared vision for a better world, standards for climate change. Over the past 5 years, the international arena decided that they would celebrate the World Standards Day surrounding the Sustainable Development Goals. This year, the international community is observing World Standards Day under the SDG 3, which is related to nutrition, but the Belize Bureau of Standards, through a regional project from CARICOM, is going to implement energy efficiency labeling scheme. And because of that, we chose to celebrate our World Standards Day around standards for climate change. Yes.
Okay. You know, I think, I was here thinking as we were opening this segment, just like our first conversation discussing maritime, the Bureau of Standards is probably one of those organizations or entities where a lot of people probably don't know exactly what you guys do. Yes? Do you get that often?
Yes. Many times.
Perhaps we can take the conversation there and narrow it into why we are celebrating World Standards Day.
Just to add to that, because when you say something like you create standards, I mean, standards could have many definitions, right? And I might argue, well, Sabrina needs some standards, right?
Or Paul needs some standards. A lot of it.
Right.
We all need standards.
So what are we talking about there?
But okay, so the true significance of world standards, they derives from the many technical experts who contribute to the development of what standards are. Now, what are standards? What do we mean when we talk about standards? A lot of us, we can talk about quality. We know what quality is. But the true question, what makes that a quality thing, right? And do you ask yourself this question, how comes they can make a million of one product the same thing? Even if it's a food product, it tastes the same thing a million times every day. Even the products that we use every day on a daily basis are the phones, or watches, pens. All of those are built according to standards. Imagine if you have your credit card and you show up in London, you go to use the ATM card and it doesn't fit. What is it going to cause? Frustration, right? So these things are all built according to standards.
And it comes from?
And who comes together to build those, to develop those standards are the technical experts. So this day is primarily dedicated to those experts who contribute to develop the standards to make a better world.
So, go ahead.
So without standards, you could say you'd have a chaotic life.
Yeah.
From you wake up in the morning, your toothpaste, your toothbrush, the security on your phone, the clothes, everything you wear, everything in the room has standards. So everything makes your life as less chaotic as possible. And so this is how we go about not knowing that we're using standards and we're trusting blindly in things, but that everything is organized by experts, by the people that create it. No?
So to hone into your question, the Bureau of Standards is responsible for standards development, or at least leading the development of standards for Belize.
Yes.
Hence the reason why we participate at the national level, where we get national experts to speak on what we want our national standards to be, and we also do that at the regional and the international level.
What would be some examples of where the Bureau of Standards would be heavily, I'd say, at the forefront when it comes to standardizing certain things in Belize?
So one of the easiest things that we can think about is the packaging and labeling of products. Every time we go to the stores, we look at these packages, and one of the other things that we're responsible for is consumer protection.
Okay.
And as the entity responsible for consumer protection, our role is to lead the way, but not take other entities' jobs, if that makes sense.
Yes, makes complete sense. We're not trying to do the same thing.
Right, duplicate efforts, correct. So for example, expired goods, we would have to refer those complaints to the Ministry of Health. Prices, which is one of the things that we get a lot of complaints about, that is the responsibility of the Supplies Control Department.
Perhaps people just get, they misunderstand the role then of
the
standard.
consumer protection, correct. So we do receive those complaints and we forward complaints to the relevant departments.
Yes.
In addition to the development of standards, the Belize Bureau of Standards is also responsible for metrology, and metrology is the study of measurement. So we have an industrial metrology unit, and that is the unit that looks at measuring instruments and compare them to what is considered an international standard. They're traceable to international standards, so that when I say your equipment is measuring 2 pounds, I can certify that it's 2 pounds because I have certificates going all the way back to the original standard for metrology. And in addition to that, the second piece of what we do for metrology is that equipment right there. And the other one right there, the Seraphim prover, we use that to verify the fuel stations. So the other aspect is the legal metrology, where we ensure that your measuring equipment is actually measuring 5 gallons, 1 pound. So we go to the stores and we ensure that the scales at the stores are measuring accurately. And when we do that, we affix a sticker to those scales. So every consumer, as a consumer, you're a consumer, I'm a consumer, and we get a lot of internal reports. Our staff members go to the stores and they will notice that, hey, no sticker is on this scale or no sticker is on that fuel pump, and we go back out and we ensure that those things are measured accurately.
I am sitting here just soaking up so much information right now. I saw Paul like, yes. And I had the same reaction like, oh, I need to search for these stickers now.
Correct. But I've seen them around. Yes, I think I've seen them at pumping stations, for example. And I've never really thought that, all right, this is because you guys have done your due diligence where this is concerned. Maybe I've just overlooked it as, oh, somebody put a sticker.
I'm thinking the grocery stores,
the grocery stores
regular
as well.
scales.
Because imagine, Sabrina, you don't have a way to trust that the grocer is actually selling you £2.
Yes.
And sometimes you take it for granted that, oh, all right, they said £2. I have no reasons not to believe them. Right. Well, if we have superheroes like you all going around ensuring that when they sell me £2, it's actually £2, then that makes sense.
That's some of the reasons why when you go to the fuel pump, people think that we deal with pricing. But if you look at the sticker carefully, it shows the period of when that fuel pump is verified. To make sure that you're actually getting $50 gas when you ask for that. And like you said, the word trust, that's very important. So you could see how standards play a very important role in the background, even though we have no knowledge of it. You could have that blind trust.
Indeed.
That is very true.
I want to get into a bit the theme for this year, just to ask, how is it that climate change and standards come together? They sound like two foreign aspects, but how do they even work together?
We have to narrow it down, like what Ms. Tillett said earlier, that we are celebrating it under that theme, but specifically the focus is energy efficiency.
All right, let's talk about that.
So, and of course, like all things, you have standards for energy efficiency, and that is one of the things that Ms. Tillett mentioned that we're working on. We're implementing that in Belize, so that if you go and purchase your air conditioner, you want to know what is best for you, right? And you want to know, a lot of times people just want to know, well, okay, I have a room, what is the size of the room? You ask somebody what would be the right air conditioner for that. But you also have another very important question in terms of the energy efficiency of that product, of that appliance. Do you know? The appliance already brings a certain sticker, a label, attesting to the energy performance of that equipment, but most and oftentimes those are based on other standards from other countries and other certification schemes. It is not necessarily based on Belize's conditions. Right? Remember, we do have conditions. Belize has a tropical climate. We have a certain temperature. We have a certain voltage and frequency. So anything that comes in has to be based on those conditions. So we have to first look at that. Other countries have different scenarios. All right? For example, you look at Jamaica, it has a 110 and 50 hertz frequency. Those are different testing conditions. So we have to, the equipment has to be based on Belize's conditions. First, we have to ensure that is the case. Secondly, when you look at those stickers, it's based on another country. If you look at, for example, Costa Rica, you look at that, can you as a consumer interpret the information that is there? It is too difficult. So what we are doing is to make a simplified version of the label for Belize. Three key things on that label. You will have a energy efficiency classification system. It's like when you go to school, you get an A, you're pass, you're at the high end. If you get an F, well, it's the same scenario. An A-rated appliance means you're super energy efficient.
Okay.
An F?
In Belize's context.
In Belize's, yes, of course. So you will see those labels in Belize coming at the end of the year when you go and purchase your refrigerator, freezer, and so forth.
But
so
how would those manufacturers or importers feel if you label their products as an F, for example, versus
That's
an
a very, very good question I have been asked. I am a standards expert. I ensure that they comply with certain criteria against the standards. The marketing end of it, then they will definitely need to deal with that.
Yeah, because they might feel the pinch.
But yes, but what we are doing is for the consumer then to have, you will have that knowledge to make your informed purchase, right? It's up to you. Yes, oftentimes you can argue that the more energy efficient product is costlier than the lower energy efficient product. Fine. That's a thing about standards compliance, is that there will be a cost to it, but you need to look at your investment in the longer run. You need to be, and we are providing that information to you, to us, the consumers, to make that informed purchase, so that you can look into the future and say, okay, well, this is the best investment that I can make. And some persons, well, you might not need a particular size. You invest in a bigger size and you don't need that bigger size. So it's all about cost saving, energy cost savings. At the end of the day, they look at the electricity bill. Right? So how can you increase your disposable income? You have to save energy. How can you do that? You have to look at your equipment, appliances that you have in your household.
I want to bring Mr. Litton to the conversation. You could add to what was said there, and perhaps what's the downside to not having standards for energy use and energy efficiency versus non-efficient products.
Right. So to add to what Mr. Oriano was mentioning, in terms of the importers and the manufacturers, we're working directly with the manufacturers. The development of any standard or the implementation of any standard is never done in isolation. It's always done in consensus with. And that means that all the work that is being done to make that determination, that whenever we put on that label that your appliance is efficient and you're saving 200, 300, 400, depending on the category, we are doing this in consultation with the importer as well as the manufacturers, so that whenever that comes to Belize, we don't get to that point where there's a back and forth between I didn't know what you were doing and this is a surprise to me.
How could you give me an F?
Correct.
And I need to make back my money.
Yes.
Well, I think it goes to what they were mentioning, the marketing. This is where you're going to get some creative marketing, the side conversation. You know, this has this here, the sticker says this, but really it's what you want.
It's a lot about consumer purchasing power when you show up. But at least you will be informed as to what it is that you want to purchase.
And again, making it relevant to Belize, because in comparison to the yellow stickers that are coming in, that is relevant to that market, and this sticker that we are going to affix to these appliances will be relevant to Belize. That trust that you were talking about, how do I know that I'm actually saving this number of kilowatt hours or saving this value in money per year?
Are we seeing these stickers already? When do they roll out?
So the plan is to roll them out come the end of this year, and we're going to do that in a voluntary fashion for the first instance. And thereafter, then we will move into a more you have to do it.
I saw on the screen that there's also a video competition that is taking place.
Correct, and this is directly related to the celebration of World Standards Day and also to promote these EELs. The video competition is open to high school and tertiary school students. And the two categories, is high school and tertiary. We are anticipating this video competition is set for high school students to do in consultation with their administrators an assessment of their school. How much light bulbs, this program is specifically related to light bulbs, refrigerators, ACs. How many light bulbs do we have? How many refrigerators do we have? How many ACs do we have? And are they efficient? How much would we save if we transform to efficient appliances? And for the tertiary level, we're anticipating that the tertiary students will apply that same concept to a business. So it's a twofold output for this competition for high schoolers and students in general to become familiar with what the EELS is, the Energy Efficiency Labeling Scheme, and also hopefully through this work, they will become interested, the schools will become interested in transforming to energy efficient, and a business could do the same that would have cost savings to them as well. And as consumers again, we would hopefully see savings because the business is saving, therefore they won't pass that on to me.
Indeed, I mean, it's so important in today's economy to find ways to save a buck or two, right? And to think that energy efficient standards can help you to do that. So on one end, we may not see necessarily the importance of your work directly, but when we have standards for these appliances and these products, and those become mandatory at some point, hopefully, then we are left with the option to only purchase products that will save us money. And you'll see a light bill go down, and you see certain things happen at the end of the month that helps you.
And what better way to start from the level of the students, where these are more curious minds, so they're able to research, they're able to come to their parents, teach them something, you know, and then carry it from there. It's like saying like a little mini thesis. What is energy efficiency? What is this labeling scheme? How do I understand this sticker? And how does this help me with my bills? How do I bring down the carbon footprint?
As well as the business side. So we have several sponsors, and our platinum sponsor is BEL, Belize Electricity Limited, who is the manager of energy in Belize. And they have offered over $6,000 in prizes. We have 4 prizes. We're offering a first and a second place high school prize, and a first and a second place tertiary prize. And BL asked me to pass this comment on. The Belize Electricity Limited is proud to be a platinum sponsor for the Belize Bureau of Standards Energy Labeling Scheme. As an advocate for energy management, Belize's BEL is committed to encouraging the use of energy efficient appliances. Updating these appliances is a crucial step towards energy use, helping both consumers and the environment. By taking small actions like upgrading appliances, we can all conserve energy and make a big impact. BL continues to lead the way in promoting energy management across Belize because doing a little conserves a lot.
Lovely.
Excellent.
Guys, this has been a wonderful conversation. I know we all learned a lot. I was checking some of the comments on our social media pages. We have persons saying, well, you know, when I go to the market, I take my own scale.
Yes.
But I think just learning the roles and the responsibilities and how important the Bureau of Standards, I guess, input is when it comes to our general standards in the country, it really allows us to appreciate a bit more the contributions from your parts, so we can properly celebrate with you guys on World Standards Day. So congratulations, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll be meeting some small business owners who'll be highlighting their products. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Aiwa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Aiwa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Aiwa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Aiwa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Aiwa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
My name is Hermine Vega. El Patio Grill has been using Belize Bank for over 25 years. We only use Belize Bank at our restaurant. That's why we were able to win this trip to Europe. I had never been to Europe. We found out it was Madrid and we were excited, and We went to this football match. The teams reached before the game and everybody was just outside, you know. You can't explain, the noise just roared like 3 blocks down the street, but when you got in there and you saw 70,000 people in there, that was amazing. I couldn't believe it was happening. I had to pinch myself to make sure it was real, you know, because it's a one-in-a-lifetime experience, I'd say. My lucky plus one was my son. He's 18 years old, so he was really excited and he enjoyed it as well. He said it's his best trip ever, so it's a priceless experience that we got. Belize Bank has always been there for me. Whatever transactions or whatever I need to do, they're always there for me. I would recommend everybody to use Belize Bank. This is the oldest bank in our country and they continue to do their best.
I say to you that there is a dire global health challenge at our gates in the global south. We have experienced an exponential rise in cardiovascular disease, chronic respiratory and infectious diseases, cancer, diabetes, air pollution, mental health challenges, malnutrition, and all of this while the climate crisis has impacted us and our environment and will continue to do so. We, the citizens of the Caribbean, are faced with a simple choice. What will our future be?
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connections, pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
Welcome back, guys. We are jumping into our third segment this morning, and it's all about small business. And if you are familiar, viewers and Paul, you would know that it seems like almost every Thursday we are recognizing women in business through NIME.
I love
now,
it.
this morning we are doing just that again, and we are joined by two representatives. We have here with us Wendy Rosales, and she is the founder of 501 Bay. And if you're familiar with the segments, there were also some sort of a mentorship taking place between these small business owners. So in this case, Wendy would be the mentor, and she is joined by her mentee, Ashante Martinez, the founder of Ashante's Crochet Designs. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome.
All right. Morning, guys, and thank you for having us here.
It's a pleasure for having both of you. I'm excited about having this conversation. And so perhaps we could go straight to Ms. Martinez.
Yes.
I understand you're coming all the way from Hopkins?
Hopkins.
Wow. So thank you for being here. Let's talk a bit about your business and how it got started.
Well, I had a love for fashion from a very young age. I saw my mom crochet when I was little. So when I got older,
It's okay. Take your time, yeah.
I saw a hook in her drawer.
Oh.
So one day I went to buy yarn at the store, and I went on YouTube and I started to practice. From there, it just went off.
It blossomed. Right. What you call that thing when you go wrong in it? That was choker? Can you choker?
Oh, no. Yeah, choker.
It's a choker?
No,
really?
this is a fashion,
Yeah.
Paul.
Oh, it's fashion. Excuse me.
Fashion statements, you know, when you
I
have
love it.
one
I love
piece
it, though.
that stands out. Thank you.
Yeah,
Lovely.
so for you put together this entire look. Were they pieces that you created separately and thought they'd go good together? Or so that's what you did. You created these pieces and you thought they'd go well together. So let's talk about the look. Tell us what you have on there.
Well, I have on Pink durag.
Yes.
Durag. That's incredible.
I know,
Yeah.
I love it. I love that idea.
As she walked in, I was like, this is really unique.
Yes. With a waist belt.
What do you
And
call
this
it?
is all
corset.
Corset.
Oh, it's a corset.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, no, you call it a belt. Yeah, belt.
Yes. I know. I'm sorry. I'm
Nice.
Now, what I think is important for us to mention here is, of course, the mentorship opportunity for these small business owners. Ashanti, the entrepreneur, in this case, she would be the mentee. But Wendy, as a small business owner yourself, we don't have your product on display, and that's because you are your product. You are your own brand, and essentially you have been really following a lot of our dreams, which is just traveling the country and showcasing what is available, but also making yourself a part of the product as well. Let's talk about what you do.
Okay, well, I love that introduction. I may not have physical products yet because the brand is still working on our eco-friendly souvenir products.
Yes.
So 51 Bay, guys, if you don't know, is a travel brand here in Belize that promote our beautiful resources, also focusing in conservation and now bringing awareness. How can we travel using sustainable practices? So something simple as let's reduce plastic bottles and, you know, the plates, invest maybe in a stainless steel tumbler, you know, something that you can reuse, wash it over and over, and the environmental impact is way less than choosing plastic.
Yes.
And yes, it's been an honor, you know, promoting on my Facebook blog. You can find me, see all the places, and I always tell Belizeans, our home is so beautiful, and we take it for granted. Yes, inflation is high. Yes, traveling may, you know, have a higher cost, but you can always take a walk, you know, right around your neighborhood. You know, Belize City has the sea. I always tell people we forget how beautiful the city is.
That's true.
You take a walk right on Marine Parade, Buttonwood Bay, you know, and you see the sunset, go by the Belize sign. You know, I'm always there. But yes, you can find me on 501 Bay, but, you know, I've just started this a couple years, and I'm excited where it will take me.
How or why did you start it?
Well, honestly, during the pandemic, when I could not travel abroad, my friends and family were worried about me. They're like, oh, you're such a social butterfly. What are you going to do? I saw Indira Craig posted that she was traveling in country.
Yes.
And she posted that she was at this waterfall. And coincidentally, I booked the same trip to Hidden Valley. And I went, I saw the waterfall.
We went to Hidden Valley too.
Hey, but I was there too. And I went to the waterfall, Butterfly Falls. It changed my life. Walking out back from the hike, I was like, you know what? Maybe I can be that person that remind us about the beauty of Belize.
Yes.
And I just came up with the name, 501, Belize area code. Bay, I thought it was, hey, you love yourself, you're confident, you're brave, you're courageous, you're fearless, you're kind, and I combine it together.
Yeah.
And 501 Bay, right? And the passion of promoting Belize just got crazier and crazier. Every time I went to a new place, people would tell me, you need to blog about this, you need to come to Hopkins.
Yeah.
I saw you went here, and it's, you know, if you can't travel for whatever reasons, you know, you may have, I bring that to life, you know, through social media.
I think, Wendy, you present quite a unique product. I think this that you're doing is something that is well recognized outside of Belize. I think we're still growing in our appreciation of blogging and vlogging and what online ambassadorship and your online presence can do, not only for your country, but for yourself when it comes to even making money. So to see this as an opportunity or as a possibility for persons who would like to make a business of themselves, I think is important. Now, what I do want to jump into is your involvement with NIME, because in this instance, you are representing not only your business, but you're also representing as a mentor. Let's talk about your involvement with NIME and what this relationship with Ashanti has been so far.
Oh yes, so another hat. All right, so we are both part of a women group called NIME. It's founded right here in Belize. We have over 200 and something women as part of this group. And the group main focus is to empower women in business. So whether you have an idea you like to start or you have already started, you join the group. We have different mentors, the admins, you know, they will find their best to pair you up with someone. If we have different projects coming up, different events, different grants, opportunities, they try their best. But NEMA is all about empowering women. We do have our first International Women's Summit Forum coming up in on November 8th, and it's going to be huge. Yes, it's not only for women because we are inclusive, but we are partnering up with other organizations from Central America, Mexico, Dominican Republic, and the United States. This is an international forum.
Correct. Yes.
And the main focus is to bring awareness, you know, the challenges we face, you know, in the tourism sector, you know, the challenges you face being an entrepreneur, and of course giving women the tools and empowering them, you know, not to give up, you know, to start your businesses. Yes, it won't be easy. There is no like real playbook or manual to like, yes, you start, it's going to be successful. So it's good to attend these things. So all the beautiful ladies out there and gents who are interested, look out for more information.
Now we have, I want to get into some of the other products that we have on display for Ms. Martinez. So let's perhaps start on that end, Sabrina.
This is beautiful.
Describe
this
some of
is
what we have.
My eye caught immediately when you started laying out your pieces. Let's talk about this item here that's on display.
Okay, this is a butterfly rose top.
Look at that, guys.
I love the colors too.
I know, I love it too. So this is a top and it comes with a
skirt.
Okay.
And the choker, just like the one I have.
Is that like a signature piece from you? You really love chokers?
It's quite unique.
Yes, it is. Now, how long does it take to put together something like this?
This I took 2 days creating
2 days.
it.
And what goes into the designs? Do you get inspiration from anything in particular?
Sometimes I just go with the flow. I was just thinking about creating a flower.
Okay.
Then turn out to be a butterfly.
That's an art. That's art. That's art for
Imagine
you, right?
you could freehand and then you all of a sudden get something else.
Yeah.
Now this is a different type of
material.
Yes, material, but it's still crochet.
Fluffy yarn.
Yes, it's
What do you call it?
Fluffy yarn.
Fluffy yarn.
I guess the fluffiness kind of reduces the little gaps, so it looks.
And it's difficult, so not everybody could work it fluffy yarns.
Let me feel it.
And this is a little purse, guys. Look at that.
I have 2 of these.
Okay.
That's nice. What kind of yarn is this one now?
Blanket yarn.
Blanket yarn.
Yeah.
So we're learning about the different yarns, right? This is blanket yarn.
right?
I really like this one.
What I also want to touch on is the fact that you also crochet on denim, on jeans.
Cute.
Yeah,
I
it
imagine
is
on
cute.
regular material as well. This is beautiful. Let's talk about the difficulty of doing something like this.
Yeah.
Well, it's my first try.
Is it?
First try.
Okay.
And amazing.
With the denim.
Look how it came out.
This is your first denim product.
Yeah.
You don't have any more. This is one of one.
This is one. It
Wow.
comes with the top, but I didn't brought it.
Are you thinking of doing more like this?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I could see something like this selling.
I agree.
And people being attracted. Even the longer jeans.
Even the jeans.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Correct. The pants, I could see people getting to something like that. Now, this piece here, what are we looking at?
It's a toddler top.
It's a
Toddler top.
toddler, so it's for a kid.
Children.
Yeah, so it's even for the children, you have stuff. And then over here, I think this is another top. And then I want to look at these. And then, is this another choker? Please tell me no.
No.
All right, so it's not another choker. Oh, it's a purse.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, because that one me a choker for sure. So small. And then this.
Yes,
I mean, the products are just amazing here.
This is also a bag here too.
Oh yeah,
you know,
that
I
one
think
is pretty.
my introduction to crochet as you know, other clothing. We know crochet being done as like mittens and caps and whatnot, but obviously we can't really use that here in Belize. So I saw the introduction of that on the scene in swimsuits. But this is really interesting now that we are seeing it in other ways that you can make beautiful pieces. You literally added it onto denim. For persons who would like to purchase these items, do you have a social media page?
Ashanti Crochet design on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram.
Oh, yes.
How long have you been doing this? You
3
said?
years.
3 years. So if like people want to get stuff from you, do they have to select from the items you have created? Can they do orders?
They can select from the one I have, and they can also custom.
Custom. What's that conversation like when it comes to custom? Like if you're on the phone with somebody, how do you have that conversation with them? Yeah, I put you up on the spot a little bit. I call, hey Ashanti, I need something nice. I'm going on the beach, you know.
Okay, I tell them, you could go on Pinterest. They have a lot of
yes.
Yeah.
And you could
Pinterest
just send
is
me.
the best friend, no?
What has been the biggest challenge for you in business? Yeah. One. I know it sounds like about 10. Give me one.
Well, I'll say when I get too much customers and I can't like take all the orders.
Yeah, that's a huge challenge. What does your operation look like in terms of who makes these? It's just you alone?
Just me.
And where do you make them?
I'm from Hopkins.
Yeah, well, is it in your home?
Home.
Yeah, okay, good. So you make
inside your home.
It's you alone inside your home crocheting day and night.
Yeah.
Days,
yeah.
But if I have too much orders, I
What
have
do
a
you do?
cousin in Hopkins that crochet Erin crochet glove.
Yeah. Now, for you, is like coming out in public and talking and presenting a challenge?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely.
How so?
And that's why we have the program here.
Yeah, right.
Yes, you know, to get her out of her comfort zone.
I could imagine.
So what has the interaction been between you and Wendy, sharing a bit of who you are and your story in entrepreneurship?
Well, she encouraged me, motivate me.
Yeah.
I almost bailed, but
Did you?
you're here.
You're here.
Nervous.
But this is the real challenge, you know. That's why I love working with Nima in this program, because we don't want it to like be fake. We are great public speakers. We don't get nervous, but we do get nervous, and especially when we're passionate about something, sometimes we don't want to be misunderstood. So the program helps entrepreneurs, you know, to find the courage within. And when you're facing with a challenge, it's like, what are we going to do? Are we going to run, or are we going to have the courage, you know, and the resiliency to continue pushing? And I'm happy that you did not run. And I'm happy that you came all the way from Hopkins. You know, she was here on time. We're in the studio with you guys.
Yeah,
it's a great opportunity.
Yeah, and for us, it's a pleasure to be a part of your growth process.
Thank you.
To expose you, because at the end of the day, it's your products, and you know your products, and you can speak with authority on your products. And it's just to build that confidence, because a part of it is the fact that your products already speaks for themselves. When you stepped in the room, it's already like, wow, we love that, and that the product itself speaks for itself, right? And it's just the confidence that you bring behind that just adds value, more value to what is already valuable.
Well, ladies, as we wrap up this segment, I'll give you an opportunity to share your final thoughts with our viewers. This can be an opportunity to share your social media handles again, or any final words.
Okay, got it, Ashanti.
Well, a fashion show is coming up November 16th. Flavors of Jewels.
Yes.
I have ticket available. Regular 100, VIP 150, and Ultra 200.
Will any of your pieces be on display in the fashion show? Wonderful.
This is an annual fashion show, right? This happens every year. And
so
so this is your first time to be a part of it.
And your pieces will be worn by stunning models from Belize, and they will also be paired with other items from other entrepreneurs as well. Wonderful.
I love how you're
Congratulations
celebrating
to you.
her.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm all about entrepreneurs. You know, whenever I hear somebody wants to start a business, a great idea, I'm all for it. And especially if I can be part of that process with you and give you some encouragement, or hear, you know, some of the things that I've been through and advice, hit me up. Find me, 501 Bay on Facebook, 501 Bay Belize on Instagram. I'm always willing to help my Belizean entrepreneurs. Yes.
So just to be clear for Ashanti, your you can find you on Facebook?
Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Ashanti
all
Crochet
over.
Design.
At Ashanti Crochet Design.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thank you ladies so much for joining us.
having
We
us.
are now going to take another quick break. And when we come back, we'll be chalking it up or laughing it up with our friends Delroy Fairweather and some comedians as well. So you want to stay with us. We'll be right back.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
My name is Hermine Vega. El Patio Grill has been using Belize Bank for over 25 years. We only use Belize Bank at our restaurant. That's why we were able to win this trip to Europe. I had never been to Europe. We found out it was Madrid and we were excited and we went to this football match. The teams reached before the game and everybody was just outside, you know. You can't explain, the noise just roared like 3 blocks down the street, but when you got in there and you saw 70,000 people in there, that was amazing. I couldn't believe it was happening. I had to pinch myself to make sure it was real, you know, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, I'd say. My lucky plus one was my son. He's 18 years old, so he was really excited and he enjoyed it as well. He said it's his best trip ever, so it's a priceless experience that we got. Belize Bank has always been there for me. Whatever transactions or whatever I need to do, they're always there for me. I would recommend everybody to use Belize Bank. It's the oldest bank in our country and they continue to do their best.
Lain ni kabah Elmer Shua, ay juin jik ahelak sa Ecopal Tree Lodge, keron ni ahelan ay lain sa Ecopal, kahki bartending, kahki an keron ni mano lain. Lain ni usara Belize Bank mobile app, hanak na usare uta hana ATM, uting card, araw kay balbas changkiron sa usare ut kolore na notification chira phone na mensajes, araw ta kin na kolore, ka kala harup chitumin sa usare, ut araw ta naw nak sa chabilo kong gatumin.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Full-Tech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
All right, and welcome back. This is our fourth and final conversation for this morning, and it's all about an upcoming comedy show. And we have joining us on set Mr. Delroy Fairweather, who is owner of promoter of Comedy Belize.
And you have to do it like Club Sheshe, you know, you gotta read out the whole
And then we have Mr. Hot Topic with us as well, comedian coming to Belize, Miss Just Niche, sorry, and as well as my brother, my good friend. I always let him introduce himself, so I'll have him introduce himself.
That's great TV right there. Derek Keener. Boy, let me tell you, I just love introducing me, but you do it so well.
No, I wanted you to do it.
Oh, yeah. No, I like that, yeah.
All right, excellent. So, Mr. Fairweather, let's just start by telling us a bit about the show and the guests that we've brought to Belize to bring the laughs to Belizeans.
Well, as always, Belize morning to OYE for having us. You know, without you guys, you know, a lot of stuff wouldn't be possible. You know, the media actually help promote these shows. You know, and we do depend a lot, you know, on the media again, like I said, to get the word out. This show, just like any other show that Comedy Belize would normally put together, you know, they always want to show with a good, solid lineup. This show has been in planning from maybe March or April of this year.
Yeah.
My good friend, Hot Topic, you know, I always reach out to him because he's an expert in what he does. And I said to him, you know what, we need a fire lineup. And so said, so done. If the set could have accommodated everyone, trust me, you know, you would have seen exactly what we were bringing. But basically, you know, what we're doing this Saturday night at the Best Western Biltmore Plaza. And I have to emphasize that we're starting the show at 7 p.m. sharp. That's one of the things that we pride ourselves with, you know, to ensure that the show starts on time. You know, we have none other to my right. My first time I've met this guy, Mr. Keener, Derek Keener, but Hot Topic told me, he said, man, he's going to bring the fire. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and you know, me and him, we have been driving around, and he's been taking it in and just bringing the laughs. And I said, you know what, use that, you know.
Is that how it works for you all in your creative minds? Like you travel to a place, you perhaps see scenarios that you think is funny, are funny, and then you create jokes on them?
Yeah, your mind, as comedians, our brain is always working.
Yeah.
Even having a conversation with you right now, brain working.
Yeah, please don't make a joke
his
about
brain
working. This is not a roast.
It'd be just like that. So
man, you got this guy nervous, man.
Yeah, so that's how it works for you.
It's definitely a gift.
What's something you've seen in Belize so far? I don't know if you have anything that perhaps you think is interesting or funny.
Pot lickers.
Pot lickers.
Pot lickers, the dogs. Yeah, the pot lickers.
Yeah.
Defecate pond the street.
Yeah.
And it should be pond the grass. But they defecate pond the street.
I appreciate the sanitized version. Defecate.
Oh, yeah. They go where they ain't supposed to go.
Yeah. Well, that's normal. That's normal for
it. Should not be. It should not be. It should not be. So said, so done.
Yeah. Now, let's bring Just Niche into the conversation. What does it mean for you to be here in Belize?
I'm very excited. This is my first time here, so I'm definitely excited about being in the city and doing a comedy show with these dope comedians. And we are at a all-inclusive workout resort that I did not know about.
What's that?
So instead of putting us in the hotel, he was like, "Oh, let me put them in a workout resort, and we have to go up 1,000 stairs to our room with our luggage every time we go back." So I should be 8 pounds lighter when I get home. Thank you, Delra. Thank you for looking out.
He
He
did that
for me.
intentionally.
No
on
membership
purpose?
needed. Yeah, he was like, "Nisha's working out. She's in fat camp, so let me put her on the top floor of the highest building in Belize with no elevator."
Yeah.
So thank you, Delroy.
Now, for you, Hot Topic, this is not your first time in Belize.
I lost count.
You've lost count.
I'm here now.
What brings you back? What continues to bring you back?
Working with Delroy, I know the focus. I know what he got planned, where he aiming, the objective to keep bringing laughter. Everybody need laughter. We get it a lot in the States. We get it so much in the States. We like to spread it out. So anytime an opportunity comes to where we, especially being international, to where we can get out and share that laughter, I'm helping them build squads, and it's easy working with good comedians that's about business and that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so guaranteed funny Saturday.
What has has the shows that you've been a part of here in Belize been like? What has your experience been like?
They get better every show. So without effort, it's a natural thing. So the last lineup that was here, I forgot what month that was, but the bar was set high. But once we went back to the drawing table, to the board, and put this lineup together, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. And so what are you all expecting? Are you all looking forward to on Saturday night?
A sold out show.
Apart from a sold out show, of course, what is it that you all are expecting, or those who come can expect from you?
I expect for more women to buy tickets than men.
Yeah, well,
just what I expect. I want to help boost the economy.
Through the women's finances.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want the women. I want everybody to come out. We expecting a great time here in Belize. I experienced at Johnny Cake.
Johnny Cake.
I had Johnny Cake today.
Yeah, nice.
And
You liked it?
Did I like it? Yeah, I'm ready to move. I'm ready to forget the USA. I won't be here with my camera. I won't be here with Johnny and his cake.
So you had the pot liquor experience, you had the Johnny Cake experience, you have fried jacket.
What you say about my mom?
Now,
you don't want to buy a roast to you, but you're gonna talk about my mom.
No, let's not start that. Let me get off of you. What do you expect from Saturday night show?
Well, I expect the crowd to come out ready to have a good time, because we are going to definitely bring the funny. So just show up and be ready to laugh.
Yeah.
And it's all white too, so if you got some white, put it on. If not,
make sure that you bring plenty of baby oil.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have it here. We have
baby oil here.
Yeah.
Okay. We out in the States.
We're not sold out as yet. So.
I knew Tahim was freaking.
Oh yeah. We have our R. Kelly lookalike, so
yeah.
We're ready.
Yeah, you kind of resemble somebody.
Cedric the Entertainer. You asked for this no roasting earlier. Now you gonna start this?
Cedric the Entertainer.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna.
Comedians gotta be able to take jokes.
I gotta be able to take a joke. You can say it.
No, but I can't take a joke.
You can.
Pauline, guys.
Now, for you all, has life always been funny? Has it always been this for you? Comedy and writing jokes? Or how did you get into it?
Yeah, it's an alleyway to get out of what you're going through.
Yeah.
For me, I think it started for me 4th grade.
Yeah.
When I failed the 4th grade.
You failed 4th grade?
Yeah, I failed. I was a class clown.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, hey, look at me now.
Yeah. For you?
well, I got fired from my job for stealing. So then this was next.
This was next.
Comedy was all I had left.
But how did you find out that you were funny?
Well, my friends told me I was funny, so they suggested I do comedy. Yeah, so shout out. Oh, vodka too, but yeah, that was the same night. But, you know, I've been funny, but I started doing comedy because of vodka.
Wow.
And stuck between the rock and the hard place, huh?
He said, wow.
Yeah.
Are these the people you're bringing to Belize?
That's because we still have 3 more that you haven't seen as yet.
Yeah. Well, for you, my brother, what got you into comedy?
You know, when I went to college at Prairie View A&M University in Prairie View, Texas, where Prairie View produces productive people.
Yeah.
Say that fast 3 times. No, my theater professor told me that I was funny, and then I started turning what was tragic about my life into I turned my pain into what was funny, and so it just came from a place of wanting to feel better about who I was, and I want others to feel better about themselves, and so I just love to make people laugh, and that's what I expect from the people of Belize, to come out and let us make you enjoy yourself. Let us help you have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, laugh at your pain, man, and we're gonna have a great time.
I thought it was because you looked in the mirror and couldn't just stop laughing at your looks, at your features.
Roast ready.
Oh, we don't want to.
I'm just kidding, man.
No, can't take a joke. You got a bunch of them. Yeah, he high on everybody. Okay, then.
They're right back to you.
Paul and guys have me cracking up.
Yeah, I would imagine all day you're with them, right?
Yeah, well, you know, I have a job that I need to go
when
back
you're
to.
with them.
Yeah, but when I'm with them, yeah, it's all fun, laughter. What I like about it, you know, I get to promote Belize through comedy. I get to have these guys come to Belize and experience what we have. When they go back, they speak about it. Just Niche, she's doing her IG profile and her page, and you know, just previewing Belize. You know, anything that says Belize, that's what I'm about.
Yeah.
You know, and again, like I said, you know, no shortages in talent. I think people could learn a lot. Like my brother just said here, you know, he took his pain and turned it into comedy, and I think that's what people need to do. You know, start to find one avenue to break out. And Paul, you know, Belize is not short of talent, because we do have a lot of comedians, but you know, these guys can actually help you hone those skills, you know, and put it together.
So
and we're not the only ones on the show either.
That I was going to ask, yeah.
Comedian Munchie. Yeah. Also JJ Williamson, and then you got
the local James Paula.
Yeah.
Okay.
James has been on the previous 2-3 shows, so up and coming. So I got my hand
What's your
around
desire when it comes to developing talents in Belize? Is that something you're also looking at?
Oh yes, most definitely. Because we want to give back. We come over here to give the jokes, but we also want to put local talent on that has that potential. They come out, they see it. Hey, if you come out and you see it and you're interested, ask questions, and we'll give you that. We're not gatekeepers.
Yeah.
We'll give you that, you know what I'm saying, advice, where you want to go with it, how you want to do it, how to set up jokes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But y'all don't host parties and after parties for them, right?
No.
Yeah?
Well, he do. He do here.
Sure do. Want you to come and sit right up front. Where that?
He's about ready to roast you.
I haven't seen these guys laugh so much. And Paul, again, like I said, if these guys have, imagine just being around them, having you know, open up like that. You could imagine the Biltmore, the noise in that Biltmore, the laughter. When you live from out there, I think, well, some people might, what's the word, defecate?
Defecate.
Not defecate, but they'll do the number one instead of the
pee themselves.
Oh no, he gonna get it too. Don't worry, that's an inside joke. He gonna get it. Did you catch it?
Yeah, I didn't catch it, but I got it.
Yeah, but I mean,
Black Santa. Okay,
I got it.
Yeah, he's gonna get it.
In Belize, we have people that are naturally funny, just across the board. People are naturally funny, but a lot of times we don't consider the fact that you could take that talent and actually make money from it, make it into a business. What's one of the key advice you would give to a young talent as to how they can perhaps take that first step?
One, take it serious if you're gonna do it. Don't play around with it. You know, keep writing. Learn how to transition jokes from one to the next. Because it's one thing being funny at a family function versus getting on that stage. It's one thing of being funny on a video on social media where you can say cut 30 times.
Correct.
But on that stage, you get one time. So you got to take it serious.
And what would be your advice? What would be your advice?
There are also a lot of comedy books I read when I first started comedy. So the Comedy Bible was very good for beginner comedians.
There's such a book?
It's a book called The Comedy Bible, and it's very helpful to anybody who's thinking about doing comedy, thinking about writing comedy, thinking about writing for, TV shows. So I would recommend that book too, along with what Hot Topics is.
And for you?
And so the first piece of advice that I ever received was from Joe Torre, and he said, do universal comedy, which means don't limit yourself to just one type of audience. And so I would say be authentically you and know that most people we're just alike. We have small differences between us, but we're just alike. So just be authentically yourself and keep going.
All right. So, Deroy, just to wrap this conversation up, I'd like for you to once again give us the rundown in terms of the acts that can be expected, the cost of tickets, and where can tickets be bought.
All right. So again, like I said, Derek Keener, Just Niche, Hot Topic, Comedian Munche, JJ Williamson, James Pollard. Those are the folks who will be entertaining for the night. The doors will be open and guys, you could scan that QR code that will take you to the Quick Pass ticketing app. And Paul, I know you
I
very
love
much
the
enjoy
app.
that. The cost of the tickets, $60 to get in for a night of tremendous comedy. Doors open from 6 p.m. and the show starts at 7 p.m. You could purchase tickets also at the Best Western Biltmore. They have tickets on sale. You could call my number, 610-5190, or my wife at 610-2601, and we're gonna get you guys hooked up. So there's no way you can say that you will not get into the show, and we'll also have tickets on sale at the door. So guys, just reach out. Again, like I said, if you have seen what you've seen and just a few minutes here, Paul is being inspired to become.
I hope I don't get fired just for being too loose.
No, man. And if Paul could show you that he could do it, then I think anybody could do it.
All right. Any final thoughts from anyone? If you want to say something to wrap this up, invite people out. Off topic, probably.
If you get fired, come on, we got you. You can do some comedy.
I'm not going to go to the after party. So
well, I think you deserve to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame too, Sammy.
Okay. All right. I'm glad we're wrapping this up. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us on set this morning.
Treat yourself. Don't cheat
yourself. Show is
yourself.
on Saturday. I wanted to encourage y'all to get your tickets and go out and have a belly full of laugh. I mean, what else do you have to do on Saturday night? It's going to be a fun time. But today is September 26th, Thursday, September 26th. That does it for our show this morning. We'd like to thank all our guests who came on set and had wonderful conversations with us for joining us this morning. We'd also like to say happy birthday to anybody that has a birthday, celebrating a birthday today. We actually have one birthday shout out this morning, and that is for Miss Natalie Rayburn. So Miss Natalie Rayburn, we'd like to say happy birthday to you from all of us here at Open Your Eyes and Channel 5. There you go, a beautiful Miss Natalie Rayburn in her Gucci, looking wonderful. So happy birthday, Miss Natalie Rayburn, to you from our family over here at Open Your Eyes. So if you have any birthday shout outs, any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to drop us an email at our email at oie@channel5belize.com. Of course, you can catch us on Facebook Live every single morning at Open Your Eyes BC. And for all our behind the scenes highlights, we'll have some, of course, I'm sure, from this set. You could catch us on Instagram at OIE Belize. But that does it for our show today. Be sure to join us once again tomorrow morning when you open your eyes and start your morning right. But until then, be sure to keep your eyes, your minds, and your hearts open. See you all tomorrow. God bless.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by Smart, bringing people together, and the Belize Bank, our country, your bank.